All right, we're live. Do you see this, Megan? Today, everybody, we are gonna meet Megan, which is just sorry, I'm a little bit sick. Signed up for my mastermind. I am just gonna make sure she gets on here. So, can you see this, Megan?
Yep.
Okay,
I think I'm on now.
I'm gonna add you.
Yay!
Woohoo! I don't see you. Are you on there? We're waiting for Megan, everybody. Hey! Okay, we're gonna look out of this. Okay. Okay, everybody. Do you see do you see me, Megan? Do you see me like this or like that?
Now we're the same.
All right. Maybe you should actually put on your headphones. Maybe that's actually easier.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, just be patient, guys. We're starting in 30 seconds. For everybody that's going to watch. Woo! Try to talk and see if it's easier.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Does that work?
How do you see me? Do you see me like this or like that?
Like that.
Yeah. It's better now?
Yes.
Oh, you can see the beautiful thing up there. All right. Welcome, everybody. We're here with Megan. Hello, Megan.
Hello.
We just talked, so we're just going to continue the conversation. Here today, I'm going to share with everybody, and Megan actually is going to share with everybody of you how she made $11,000 in 48 hours. Yes, which is a big deal for her. It's her first 5-figure months. And she basically collapsed her old income, in 48 hours, and she's already made $6-something thousand cash this month, and it's going to be 7, and it's going to be more than that. So everybody know. But I wanted to take Megan on because something magnificent happened once she stepped into my mastermind. And I know there's a lot of you don't want to do that, and there's, I know you're also scared about making a commitment to making the last decision because, for various reasons, we are scared to do something that's out of our comfort zone. So I wanted to share that, and I wanted to share with everybody why you can do the same thing and literally treat yourself with a quantum leap before Christmas. And Christmas is like 3 days. And you can literally have a leap like Megan in 3 days or 2 days like she did. Okay, it's possible for absolutely everybody. And then I want to share with you guys what happens once you step into my, what I call energetic fields, or in an environment where people are really, really aware of their spiritual Einstein, their genius, and their greatness. All right, but let's talk to Megan over here. Megan, I want you to tell everybody what you told on your own live stream because it was so good, because she was so transparent in what happened, because this was not easy for her. So can you tell everybody what made you, first of all, really, really wanted to be a part of the mastermind, and B, how was it in the beginning? Why were you scared, or what was happening in your mind at the time?
So I wanted to be a part of the mastermind because I've been a part of your programs before, so I know the power of working with you. But on top of that, I was just telling you this in our call, like I had this realization recently that all of the people that I considered peers to me are no longer peers. They're not trying to go where I'm trying to go. They're not trying to do what I'm trying to do. They're not trying to build the movement that I'm trying to build. So in order for me to get to that next level, I have to surround myself with people like you, Charlotte, and the people that you are attracting into this mastermind. Those are my people, and I need to be in that program. Also, just to be in your energy more in general is a powerful experience.
Yeah. So what happened? You were like, I want to be a part of the mastermind. But you didn't, act on it immediately. So what happened for you?
So I reached out to you, I think it was like early November, and I said, like, I saw this. Yeah, it was forever ago. I want to be a part of this. Like, I know I need to be in this. And you told me, like, the details. You told me the price. And I was like, well, there is no way that I can afford this because, like, the deposit was what I was bringing in like a month. That would be like my entire monthly income. And I have bills to pay. Like, I got to feed myself. So I was like, there's no way. There's no way I can make this work. There's no way that I can make this happen. But at the same time, like, I'm a sales coach and I don't settle for like that kind of stuff. So I also told you, I don't know how I'm going to make it work, but I'm going to find a way. But I let the fear take over, and all of the limiting beliefs that I had and the negative talk, like, how are you going to make this kind of money? This is like more money than you will have ever invested in one lump sum at any given time ever in the course of your business. And all of those things just went through my head. So I reached out to you, I think a second time in like mid-November and said, I'm going to make this work, but I don't know how, and didn't do it again. And then the like fire that was lit under my butt was most recently, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I reached out and said, I don't know how I'm going to make this work, but I want to be a part of this mastermind. When I sent that message to you, I was literally crying because I was like, yeah. I want this so bad, but I cannot make this money come into my life. I don't know how. And I had done what we had talked about too. Like, I had asked my parents for the money, something that I said I would never, ever, ever do in my business.
Yes, I know. That was big for you. You were like, okay, I'm going to ask my parents because I'm never going to do that. But what did they say?
They said no. But here's the thing, like, I like to tell this little story too, like, because you told me you need to ask them with the conviction that you're going to get it. And I did not do that. And on the drive home, I was thinking, there's no way that they're going to give me this money. There's no way that this is going to happen. And within minutes of me walking into their house, their plumbing broke. Like, what are the chances of that? And like, the cost to fix the plumbing was $5,000.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's such an amazing story, actually, of manifestation, what you don't want.
Yep.
Because Meagan was still convinced and made a decision that they're not going to pay me. Like, you hoped, you were asking, it wasn't like you weren't doing it. You were doing it, right? But it was still like in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, right. You're like, this is going to go through. And here's what happens, people. When we don't put our desires first, when we are not convicted and decisive about what we want, in the back of our head, there's a thought be like, yeah, but are they really going to say yes? And is this really going to work out for me? And once that is there, we always get no, because we're actually more convinced that we're going to get no than yes. And this is what she did so beautifully. So tell everybody what happened after that, because you were still, there's a lot of people in this space where like, I really, really want something. And then you were like, just waiting around for the sales a little bit. How frustrating was that for you? Because I remember you were like, oh, if they just pay, why just get the cash? How was that frustration for you?
It was terrible, and I don't recommend it to anybody. Like, it was the worst, because I had so many people who were circling around me, like, kind of teasing me and being like, I want to work with you, but I'm not ready to invest. And I want to work with you so bad, and I know this is the best investment for me, but I'm not ready to invest. And it was really frustrating to be like, can somebody just drop me like $5,000 right now? That's kind of what I thought. Please, because then it would be so much easier.
Yeah, I know.
It was really frustrating.
All right. But here's the great thing about Meagan. Even though she's like triggered, even though shit hits the fan, and even though everything, she still never stops. So tell everyone what did you do after everything shit hits the fan all the time?
So that's when I sent you that last message, and I was like, I want to be a part of this. This needs to happen. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen. And you were so generous with your time. Like, I'm so grateful for you, because you broke it down for me. And you said, we like went through all of the things that I had in my life that were just physical manifestations of the money that I wanted. Like my car, like the things that I had in my home to sell. I had honestly more than $5,000 worth of stuff just sitting around that I could make this happen if I really wanted to. And you told me that. You were like, if you were truly serious about this and your success and you wanted it as bad as you say you want it, we've just outlined like where all the money is. So I'm going to send you 2 payment links, one on December 14th for $2,500 and one on December 19th for another $2,500. And you're going to pay me. And I did not take action after that. Okay, I did a little research.
Action? This is so cool. Why didn't you take action after that? Because people listen to this. When we don't think we have money, we literally don't see it. We're like, I don't have money there. I don't have money there. And what I did with Meagan, I was like, no. Well, you can sell a car. You can do this kind of thing. And we actually find $5,000. But still, even though the money was literally already there, not in the way she wanted it to be there, obviously. But she still didn't take the action. So why didn't you take the action after that?
It was a combination of fear, and I was so addicted to my own comfort.
Yeah.
I told myself, like, I can't get rid of my car. I work from freaking home. I drive maybe like 2 hours, like 2 miles a week. Like, I don't drive. So why do I need my car? I was so addicted to the comfort of it. Like, I needed to have these things in order to be safe.
Yeah.
And that's just not true. And at the time, I wasn't willing to give those things up.
So tell everybody about the shift, because at some point you got willing to give it up.
So
and by the way, I'm just gonna say
go ahead.
But Meagan actually didn't need to sell any of her stuff in order to make this work. Just so everybody know that. So this is pretty cool. Just tell everybody.
So I'm in one of Charlotte's group programs right now, the 6-figure WizBiz school, and we had a call. And on the call, Charlotte demonstrated how to move somebody through their financial objections. And I was like, dang, she's talking to me. This is the message that I need to hear. So when it came my turn to like be coached, we kind of just dove into why I hadn't been taking action, why I wanted to be a part of this mastermind, and what needed to happen immediately for that energetic shift to occur. So immediately after that call, I gave Charlotte the last of the money in my bank account. And when I did that, it was terrifying.
Yes. She was scared. People, she was scared. It's like she's giving the last piece of clothing she has, the last piece of the puzzle she has. She's like, I am willing to give this to you. So I'm just going to say something about it before you continue. This is the truth about success. When you're willing to give everything you got, if you have to, you will succeed. Because in the giving, in cash, in this particular example, you actually believe you deserve it and that is going to happen. So tell everybody what happened after you paid. What happened after you're like, this is the last thing I have, like, give it all. What happened?
Well, first I cried.
Yes, I know. This is not comfortable, people. Anybody that's done this, anybody that's like, I'm doing it no matter what, nobody. I also cried my tears. Let me just say that.
I cried, and then it kind of sunk in. You have just made a decision. You have to come up with the $2,500 by December 14th, or you just gave away like the last of the money in your bank account for nothing. And I'm not the kind of person to do that. It was no longer an option. Like, not paying you was no longer an option for me. So I decided in that moment, come hell or high water, I'm coming up with the money for this mastermind. And I took our list that we had made of the things that I could sell, and I made a plan to sell all of them. Luckily, I didn't have to sell a single one of them, because Within 24 hours, I had a client, a 5K client, who had said no to me in the past, who had said, I have to check with my husband, come back and say, I'm ready to work with you. Here's $1,250 for the deposit. Let's get started. Less than 12 hours later, I had another person who had said yes to my 5K package in the past, but then never signed the contract, never sent the payment, and kind of just disappeared, come back and say, I'm ready to work with you in your group program, which I just launched it yesterday, which I hadn't even launched yet, and say, send me the contract and send me the link to pay in full. So I made $2,750 that day.
And then what happened?
Then I was like, well, I just came up with the first payment like on December 13th. So I sent that payment, I'm pretty sure, before December 14th. And I was like, well, now I got to get the rest of it. So let's just make it happen. So I posted in my group, like, these two women have joined me to work with me. And that just like opened the floodgates. I had calls pretty much for the rest of the day with people who were saying, I didn't hear a single no. It was just yes, yes, yes. So I had a current client who was about to wrap up working with me say yes to my group program and pay in full. I had a client that is getting close to finishing working with me say yes to my group program and put down the deposit. And I had a third woman who was like me and didn't have the money, invest in herself before she was ready and say yes to the group program. Just 3 back to back to back. So I paid the full $5,000 to work with Charlotte. I think I paid the whole thing before December 19th, which was the deadline that you gave me. But I made all the money in 2 days.
Yeah, because I told Meagan, and I tell everybody, you have a deadline. And if you don't fulfill the deadline, you're out. You know? So how did that change things for you? Because I remember you talked about it.
That just wasn't an option for me because, like, I really believe that there are soulmate mentors for each and every one of us, and you are that person for me. Mm-hmm. And hearing you say like that, I'm not going to put up with your bullshit anymore, essentially. And if you don't do this, you're not in this program. I was like, no, no, I can't not do this. I have to be a part of this program. Yeah. It was my intuition going crazy and being like, this is where you belong. You need to act in alignment with this. And if you don't, like, that's fear winning. Yeah.
And you have to understand, guys, Meagan went from being extremely frustrated because everybody was turning her down. And after our conversation in the group call, when I was like, essentially at the end of the day, explaining her, just pay. Just give the fucking payment. Because the moment you pay and you act towards that desire, everything changes. Because when you act towards what you decide with your life, when it literally matters of your life, the belief that you deserve it is immediately in action and everything changes. And that is exactly what happened for her, because Meagan was like frustrated, The moment she just fucking paid and she gave me everything she had and she was in it to win it, she declared to herself, I'm fucking worth it, And when you believe you're worth it, people, it does happen, and it happens immediately, and it happens overnight. This is how the universe works. This is how this human psychology works. Everything is based on beliefs, and everybody here knows that, okay? Everybody that's a coach has heard of beliefs before, right? But it isn't until we actually take action towards what we desire. And for Meagan here, is not only about joining my mastermind. Obviously, that is one thing, but it's about becoming the best intuitive mentor she can possibly be. Right? Because I know you care so much about the results that you really want to give your clients the transformation they deserve. So the other things about it when you step into my kind of work and this kind of mastermind is that you immediately step into the energetic vortex where this is the number one priority, and immediately the confidence in you as a mentor, in you as a coach starts to radiate everything. So when you combine those two things, you actually committing to the desire, I'm going to be the best motherfucking intuitive coach on the planet, you know? That's my desire and that's my purpose, right? When you commit to that more than anything else, universe responds immediately, right? And I think you can tell better than anybody that when you unapologetically follow that desire to be the best that you can be, nothing can stop you.
No, it's true.
No, nothing at all can stop you. And this is what I want to say to everyone that's watching. That, hey, Shauna, if you have any questions, guys, you can just type them in here. What I want to say to everybody that I know a lot of you that's watching this want to join my mastermind. You know, you contact me and you really want to do it, but it's just this last piece of, you know, doing it. That's just lacking, right? When you decide that something is going to happen, all of the universe orchestrates itself for it to happen for you. And you can literally do the same thing for Christmas. I have another story with another client I'm going to talk to next week, which is literally the exact same thing. She paid all my deposit, she came, and now she has sold a group program for 2,200 or something. That's Phyllis I talked about. We haven't started the coaching people, okay? Yeah. This always happens once you step into something that's bigger and better than you, bigger and better, you know, than where you're at. And you know you have to be there, you become the higher self, you become the version of you, right? And then you're just fucking unstoppable. Because I know, and Megan know, and I think everybody knows, there's nothing worse than just sitting around feeling like you're so close to something, you just really want it, but then it just doesn't happen. Because here's the thing that happens, guys, like once you haven't made a true firm decision, what happens is that something always happens to sabotage it. Okay, yeah. Right? You have a client that say, yes, I'm so ready to go, and then all of a sudden the client just backs out of the blue, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? You know? Or you are about to ask your parents for cash, and then the plumber goes down, you know? All of these things happens, and the only person that can change this is your undivided decision in you that you will no longer accept the reality you're living in, what is happening around you. You are going to be a spiritual Einstein, as I like to call it. You are going to join Meagan and all the other high-level entrepreneurs to go over 500,000, to actually be a part of the only group, the only mastermind that's actually going to deliver the results that you don't even believe you're capable of delivering to your clients. You know, it's for you, Meagan. Think about this. Like right now, you're cool. You're doing amazing stuff. But we haven't even started to tap into the power behind your delivery, the power behind your reputation. Because there's one thing that's very, very important to me, and I know for you, Meagan, everybody that's around me, that is reputation. Meaning that when you sign up with someone like me or somebody in my circle, whatever, you get results. There's just the delivery rate is high, the integrity is high, and all the things are high. That is one of the most important things, and you can be one of those mentors. And you're just one decision away to do that. You can make, like Meagan is going to do, 100,000 in January. That is just a couple of $20,000 sales. And that can seem like a big stretch for someone, you know, if you're right now struggling to get a $5,000 payment, $10,000 payment, it can be a big stretch. But the moment you see how you can do that and how easy that is, you do it. Like any other thing. All right? So everybody, sorry, I'm like sick. Everybody knows that, that you have the power to change it. And I know a lot of you have, you know, are in investment or have invested with other mentors and things are not working, you know, you're learning all the intuitive stuff or the strategies or whatever. But it's pretty simple. You haven't been in my group. Because to be honest here, you haven't really been with a mentor which understands delivery and understands the soul. Because once you are with the right mentor, with the right attitude, like Meagan, because I did 50% of this and Meagan did 50% of this. You know, I am me. I'm delivering my amazing stuff and Meagan wants it. But Meagan is 100% responsible and is the creator of all that money coming into your bank because she made the decision, right? Is when you have that perfect combination, everything works. And you as a mentor, and you Meagan as a mentor, and everybody that's listening to this, you deserve to have a client that thrives with you. You know, that's another thing. People don't really believe they deserve to have a 100% delivery rate. You know, and you do. Everybody does, because you know what happens, and you know what's gonna happen as well. Once your clients get better and better results, they stick around. Yep. So that means that you could just put more money and more money and more money without working. You know, and this is why I call like the 5-hour work week, because I work so, that's why I work so little, because my clients, like Meagan has been with me since July, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's when we first did the first boot camp.
The boot camp,
you know,
yeah.
and I have a lot of people in my mastermind that has been my previous clients and other stuff. You know, this is what happens when you are tapped into your own spiritual genius and give that to your clients. And every single one of you, Meagan included, can enjoy the pleasure of doing that. It's a different world, you know, because you don't need to hunt for sales and you don't need to hunt for self-esteem, because you always know that you will deliver. So Meagan, how do you feel about your group right now that you're going to do after all this?
Awesome. Awesome, yeah? Awesome, awesome. Yeah. The women in there are amazing. Like, they're going to get results. I mean, what you're talking about is so on point though, because like in the short time that we've worked together, it feels like a short time, I went from like a 10% delivery rate to like 100% delivery rate. Now I can say, since working with you and really tapping into my gifts, I can get clients results in 2 sessions or less. That's not something that I could say before.
Oh my God, it's so awesome.
And that's the result. Yeah, a result of working with you and really understanding like who I am, what I do, and we've only scratched the surface. Like in the mastermind, we're going to go so much deeper. So it's a no-brainer.
But I hadn't asked you about that particular question, but I actually didn't know that. So your delivery rate went from like 10% to 100% or 90%?
Pretty much. Yeah.
That is so alien and unheard of in this industry by millionaires and 7 figures and 8 figures and 6 figures. They don't have this, you know, and everybody is in the business of transformation. So if we don't wake up, there's something really wrong, you know? And I'm so proud of you to tell you that you have a 90% delivery rate. This is the best testimonial for me, because that means she and Meagan has become aware of why she's so amazing, and that confidence never leaves her, you know? So right now she's like, I'm in the mastermind, I'm doing it no matter what, and that confidence to be like, of course, I can get my class results after two hours or whatever. It's just nothing better than to sell with that, because the client can say whatever, right? Client's like, oh, this is gonna work for me, blah blah blah. You're like, of course it's gonna work for you. What are you talking about, right? Right? So is there something you want to say to anybody that's sitting and be like, oh, I want to do it, and they're sitting in the fear, because you know how it is. Is there anything you want to say to those people?
Make a decision. Decide today that you want whatever it is that you're sitting on the fence about right now. Like, make that true decision so that you can experience what I just experienced. Like, I want everyone to make $11,000 in 2 days. Like, yeah. Once you make that decision for yourself and decide, I am doing this no matter what, I am willing to die for this, like, things will happen. Your life will change. But most people are too scared to make that decision. So don't let the fear win.
What?
Don't let the fear win.
Yes. So how did you actually make the decision?
Honestly, it was like a little voice in my head, which I know is my highest self, who said, are you kidding me? You're really not going to do this. when you know what we're working for here and what's possible, you've seen glimpses of what's possible in the past, so just do it because you know that I can provide. And when I actually listened to that voice, like everything changed.
Oh, that's the most beautiful thing because what happened in that moment is that she listened to what we call our intuition or our higher self or our highest truth. And then she first of all, she was aware that there was a new thought in her brain that said something different, like, no, I can't do it, right? And then she trusted it, right? Because this was very beautiful. The thought was, I will provide for you. And you're like, all right, I'm going to trust that, even though you have no proof, you've never done it before. Shit could hit the fan, everything could go to hell, but you were still trusting and really going into that idea. And I think that's so beautiful said, Meagan. And it's so true for everybody because we can listen to either side, and which one side we listen to is going to dictate what's going to happen in 3 hours, and what we're going to do and who we're going to be. So it's so proud of you. And the mastermind actually starts in January, right? And I'm picking and choosing people. And it's for you that wants a $500 business, or making $250,000 as well. And like Meagan making 50,000, 100,000, like collapse it. And also, I told Meagan this before we went on. It's like you can get the clients you don't think you can have. One of the exercises we're going to do in this mastermind is actually you are going to tell me what kind of clients do you not believe you can have. Like what kind of clients are you like? So everybody start to think about that, okay? What kind of clients are you like, oh, I could never coach that. What the hell am I going to do with that person? That person is so awesome. I can do that. And I'll show you exactly how they think, exactly what's going on in their brain, exactly what they don't know what's going on about themselves, exactly what you're not telling anybody, and then you will market to that, and those people will be your clients. It's like getting the guy you never thought you could have ever, because it's so great, it's so good, ever, right? It's the exact same thing. So you don't have to settle. Meagan is not settling. I'm not settling. Nobody needs to settle. And you can really be the best, spiritual coach out there with the clients. It's just going to explode because, as Meagan said, your now peers turns into clients basically overnight, because all of a sudden you're just so far ahead of them in understanding it and how everything works, and then you can literally pitch them or talk to them. And so how is that for you, by the way? I'm just going to ask you the last question. How is that for you, actually turning your peers into your clients?
It was awesome. Like, I love working with people that I know and love, but at the same time, it's like, that's my sign that it's time for me to step up my game. I need to step into this higher version of myself because, like, I know that I can do so much more.
I love it. And thank you so much for sharing everything. It's going to be a great help for a lot of people that's watching.
Yay.
And
if you're thinking about it, join the mastermind. Just join it. Just like sell your car and join the mastermind.
I totally agree. And then you may not, if you're willing to sell your car, like Meagan, you may not have to sell the car because you're willing to sell the car. It's such a beautiful thing, right? But what I'm going to say, I really just want to thank you for everything you shared. I love you. Of course, you're badass. I'm so proud of you because anybody that's made these kinds of decisions, we know how uncomfortable it is in the moment, but also knows what comes afterwards. So you're like, I'm willing to do whatever, right? So I'm just so proud of you. And Meagan is going to fly first class to my event. Which, by the way, if you haven't done that, it just changes your life, all right? This is part of the expansion that you deserve to be treated like a queen or a king, And I encourage everybody that's going to go there to fly first class. I don't know. There's not so many people here, but is anybody got any questions? You can obviously just comment with the questions down here. If no, it was a pleasure to talk to you. I don't think I'm going to talk to you before Christmas.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Or maybe we will. But you, Megan, have an amazing Christmas, and we'll talk right after Christmas. And everybody that's here, have a merry, merry, merry Christmas. And if anything, join the mastermind. Mwah. All right, bye, everybody. And bye,
Thanks for having
Megan.
me, Charlotte.
Woohoo.
Bye, Charlotte.
Bye.